radar indicated tornado warning has been issued.
What's going on, Michael? What is going on? Okay, let's look at these tornadoes real quick. Let's just check on what's going on with these. Heading out towards the seal. Interesting. PA. Out towards Bethel Park. Could have something in here. There's a little bit of rotation, a little bit of a couplet right here. Nothing on the CC. Heading out east. Here's another one. Heading out east towards Urbana, Virginia. A little bit of a couplet on the velocities, nothing crazy. No CC drop, but Urbana. Christchurch. Salud. Heading out towards you. Another one out here. This looks like, where are we? We're in southern Maryland. Not much going on here, but this one looking pretty good. Okay. There's our tornado watch out there. Couple decent thunderstorms up here. Pretty large hail. I'm hearing thunder outside my house here. Almost 2-inch hail up here. So strong updrafts. No rotation there, really. Up here to the north, Texas. A little bit of rotation trying to get going up here, maybe. And this storm up in the Texas or Oklahoma panhandle. All right. What is going on, everyone? We could have quite the day today, weather-wise. Quite the day today, weather-wise. Here is our risk. Moderate hatched risk for damaging winds. Not looking too great on the hail side of things either. Tornadoes at about 5%. I think we might get an update to Tor. Maybe, I think they might update our Tor. Why does it keep doing that? I just don't understand. Out here. Northeastern Texas to a 10%. We'll see. How are things today? Looking spicy. Yeah, I'm doing just my channel today, yeah. Does anyone else have a yellow barcode sort of thing on the right edge of their window? Yeah, let me know. Is that a thing? Tornado risk for McKinney, Texas. You're in that 5%. I think there's a chance we go 10% down here near Dallas-Fort Worth. 3 out of 5 risk, maybe. Okay, so yeah, that must just be you, Michael. Roswell, what?
New information. This considerable
New Mexico?
severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Roswell, Georgia? New Mexico? Colorado? South Dakota? Oklahoma? Oh, that one's not even on this list. Or Boswell? More Oklahoma. You guys are in that 5% today. So is Boswell, Oklahoma. We can take a look. Okay, here's what's going on. Let me just quickly review. This is going to be a quick 30 to 45 minute stream. I'm going to hop on later when this derecho event, what we think could be a derecho, is getting itself together. Because I want to make sure I'm on and I can cover as much of that as possible. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. Check, check, check. Okay.
New information.
Let's pull
This
up
severe
our
thunderstorm
outlook
warning
today.
has been updated.
Here's our categorical. We already do have a couple tornado warnings out east here. Looks like they might have canceled the ones that were in
This special marine
the mid-Atlantic. We got one out here in southwestern PA. This is headed out to the east towards Cecile. Bethel Park in a safe spot. Doesn't look too threatening, but it's still a tornado warning. Radar indicated. Here's our main threat today. Obviously, we have a moderate 4 out of 5 risk for wind, but it's SIG. So significant damaging 100+ mile per hour gusts are possible. Here's as we go through the day. Let's take a look at our latest HRRR. All right, I'm turning off the sound because there's just way too many severe thunderstorm warnings getting issued right now. Every 5 seconds there's a new severe thunderstorm warning getting issued. There's tons up here. You can see all of these just got issued. Well, some of them are new. What the heck? Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, sorry, interesting text. Here we go. Let's get into today. This is around the time when we could see these storms really start to intensify, 7, 8 p.m. Central. Now, we could get damaging wind, large hail. Oh, I forgot it shows that now. Did I just get a sub? Oh, welcome to the Climate Crew, Terry. Terry? I appreciate that. You have access to the Discord now, Connor's Climate Corner HQ. As long as your Discord is linked to your YouTube, you should be able to hop in there. It's a good time. It's a good time. Come check it out. But welcome to the Climate Crew. So here we go, around 7, 8 p.m. Central. Things start to get a little spicy out here in western Oklahoma and the panhandle of Texas. So, large hail, tornadoes, damaging wind is possible before this time, but this is when we start to kind of see that MCS feature develop, and we could see our first derecho of the year. Terry, okay. Terry, yeah, okay, I figured. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you for the support. This could be our first derecho of the year. Every single model I've looked at has 80, 90, 100+ mile per hour gusts in this MCS as it moves off into the south and east. It's looking very, very likely we're going to get some damaging straight line winds, not along the entire boundary. That's not how it works. There'll be supercells embedded within this MCS that are packing those 100+ mile per hour gusts, maybe even 110+. This is going to be moving. As you can see, this is around 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 a.m. This up here, my time is on Eastern, so that's kind of the timing. Dallas-Fort Worth, this thing looks to still be packing a punch. That's why you're in that moderate. I thought we might have gone high today with the wind, 60%. Around midnight. We also have a low-level jet down here that is turning on at midnight. I don't feel like going and pulling up Pivotal and going through the whole thing again. We're seeing 90 knot, 850 millibar winds just above our head. That's close to 105 mile per hour winds sustained just above our heads down here in northern central and northeastern Texas as we get into 11 midnight, 1, 2 a.m. Strong low-level shear, potentially strong helicity rotation. Yeah, it's I don't know. They might even throw a 10% tour down here with that look. So don't think, it's getting later into the night, 12-1. These storms are going to die off. No. This is holding on until at least until it pushes into portions of Arkansas and Louisiana. This is going to be a day. Again, just to remind you guys, and I'll take questions in a second. Here's our tour risk. Large 5%. I think we could get a last-second 10% in here today. Large 5%, large 2%. We do have this 5% and 2% up here, although we have a tornado up here in southwestern PA, which I'm going to go over again in a second. Quickly getting back into our wind, just to remind everyone, yeah, this is all what we call SIG. So SIG 30 to 45%, 80+ mile per hour, catastrophic damage threat. if you get caught in one of these kind of derecho type events as this MCS moves off into the south and east. You can kind of see where you see these individual cells. This is not exactly how it's going to look, but the entire line, like I said, will not have those winds, but we'll have cells embedded that are doing that. Basically, it's tornado winds without an actual tornado on the ground. So it can be definitely a spooky thing. We haven't had one this year. Maybe we get lucky and it doesn't form. Although looking through all the models, it almost seems inevitable at this point. So we just need to be prepared. Just need to have a plan. Still, I would choose this over a tornado. Tornadoes, I think, are obviously the biggest threat if you want to look at this in any sort of bright light. But here's our hatched hail. We could even see that 4-inch plus gorilla hail as far north as almost Kansas City, Jefferson City, Missouri. And obviously down here, large 30% hatched hail. So 4 or 5-inch hail. You don't want to be caught outside in this. Again, we're talking 7, 8 p.m. as we're here. And as we push out down into northeastern Texas, we're talking 12, 1, 2 a.m. That's kind of the time frame through here. Oklahoma City looks to be 9, 10 p.m. Central. So just imagine as we move through the day, this potential derecho feature, right? We're coming in here around 7 p.m., give or take an hour, around 9, 10, give or take an hour, around midnight, give or take an hour, around 2 a.m., give or take an hour. Okay, that's how this thing is going to be moving off to the east. We do have, I do want to just show this really quickly, and then I'm going to take your guys' questions. We do have 2 tropical storms right now, by the way. Here, we got 2 tropical storms right next to each other, and we're probably going to have a third. We're probably going to have triplets all right next to each other in the Eastern Pacific, which is crazy. Can't remember the last time I saw 3 tropical cyclones right next to each other in the Eastern Pacific. Here they are. Let's let this load. I don't need to be back 200 frames. Let's go in 21 frames. Here they are. You're slam right into each other. There's another storm that we think back here, which you can't see, but that's going to also go through tropical cyclogenesis within the next 4 to 5 days. You know, there have been times in history where these cross over Mexico or Central America, come into the Gulf and make a landfall in the U.S. None of these really look like that they have potential to do that. They all want to kind of steer off into the open ocean, which is good. Anyways, yeah. So anyways, I'll get to your guys' questions now. I know people probably have a lot of questions, so we'll get into that. I got a new transition. Oh, I didn't turn it on for, wait, guys. Here, before I start. Docs. There we go. Properties. I think this is it. One second. One second. Ready? What do you guys think? It's really squished. It looks really squished over there on TikTok. All right, let's get into the questions. What's going on, everyone? And into the live radar. By the way, Centerville. Okay, did that tornado warning run out? Centerville, Youngwood, South Greensburg, PA. If you're out in this region, get in a safe spot. We do have a little bit of rotation in that cell moving towards you. Doesn't look like it's on the ground, but it could be. You should treat it like it's on the ground. Same out here. If you're out in Cecile, McDonald, Southview, PA, I'd get in a safe spot. Dallas hail threat tonight. What do I do without a garage? Pray. No, I'm just kidding. You listen. There's not much you can do. If you have a friend with a garage who has space, that's good. If you can find like an overhang, that's good. Not everyone's going to see hail. There's going to be plenty of people. Over probably 70, 80% of people aren't going to see any trace of hail. So the odds of getting hail, even when you're in that big threat, are low. But if you do see it, it's significant. So you're more than likely going to be fine. But if you're concerned, yeah, that type of hail will greatly damage a car. Probably want to see if someone has a little room for you. Yeah, are they merging? Yeah. Angry pink cloud jump scare. I like that transition better. I know you guys everyone was yelling at me for my transition yesterday, so I made a new one. I didn't make that last one. I made this one though. You can throw a comforter over your car. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Sometimes you can put like some blankets over the windshields. But I mean, you know, what? I don't know. Central Florida. Someone's asking a question about Central Florida. What's going on in Central Florida? You guys looking pretty good today. You're just under that general thunderstorm for the next 3 days. Is the GFS still showing a Gulf hurricane in mid-June? Probably. It's been showing that nonstop for weeks now. I'll look at it really quickly for you. It's been showing it nonstop for weeks. Here you go. Ready? Oh, it's not pulled up. Let's go. So, yes, tropical cyclogenesis 180 hours out. And it has it maybe a tropical depression making landfall in Florida. The odds of this happening are very low. But yes, it does see tropical cyclogenesis about 180 hours out. It's continued to see this type of stuff, and we've continued to not see it actually come to fruition. So, not overly concerned about that. How bad will DFW be tonight? Well, listen. Being truthful, the ceiling's high. Listen, you're in a basically enhanced, but it's 30%, but enhanced significant hail risk and a moderate or 4 out of 5 or 45% damaging wind threat. You're in both, and a 5% tour that may be upgraded to a 10% tour. There's nothing I could really say to make those risk zones go away. I can tell you that even being in all of these different risk zones at the same time, the odds that you get severe damage to your area still aren't really high. So when people get nervous, I'm like, you could be sitting in a high hatched region for tornadoes, and still the odds that you see a tornado are like are very low. So have warnings on, have a way to get alerts, stay updated. Nowadays, we will know a good 30 to 45 minutes before this thing moves through Dallas Fort Worth if it looks like these strong winds are going to hold on and there's going to be damage. You're going to get a good heads up. We've been watching this potential derecho for a while. Let me quickly cover these two potential tornadoes up here. We've got almost 2-inch hail up here moving just to the north. This is passing just to the north of Guyman, moving off to the east-southeast in the Oklahoma Panhandle. And we definitely have a little bit of a couplet forming here. So, Hardesty, getting a safe spot. Let's check out here. A little bit of a couplet trying to form here. We're up far western panhandle of Oklahoma, moving down to the southeast. Really nothing out ahead of this. Thompson Grove, if that's... I don't even see anything. There's a picnic ground. But we'll watch those. We do still have these tornado warnings up here. One to the south of Greensburg, PA, which there's no risk zone up here. Or at least it's less than 2%. So, but getting a safe spot out here, Youngwood and South Greensburg and the surrounding region, including Centreville, PA. And then again out here, moving towards McDonald, Sturgeon. Both of these look like they're probably not on the ground, but you should always assume they are, just in case. Like I always say, sometimes the radar doesn't read it right. So it's better to be safe than sorry. Okay. And then one heading out towards Urbana as well, Salud. This is radar indicated. Christchurch, again, not seeing much on the radar, but it is a radar indicated tornado warning. So if you're in that, get into a safe spot. Am I going to die? No. I downloaded the WeatherWise app because of your use of it. Oh, cool. Yeah. No, it's pretty cool. You can go into the settings to get different look. Like mine is, and I actually worked with Devin on this, customizing it to kind of look like his. One of the cooler things about it is you can go into this thing down here, and I love it. And you can actually, well, you can do the smoothing, but the reflectivity gate. Look if I turn this off. Look how messy the radar gets. Now look when I turn it back on. You're just seeing the storms now, right? Where's all the blue? It's pretty cool, but I leave a little bit on. We leave a little bit on. But there's a bunch of, you can mess with the colors. It's just much smoother than Radar Omega 2. Radar Omega crashes every single time there's a severe weather event because their servers can't handle the capacity, I think. Thanks, Marissa. Yeah, if you guys are asking about an area tonight, it's better to say, like, if you're in southeastern Oklahoma, don't say, like, the tiny city that you know I won't know in southeastern Oklahoma. Just say southeastern Oklahoma, and I can answer you quickly. When forecasting, we're forecasting more regions. You can't really locally forecast. I can't the difference between what's going to happen in Poteau, if that's how you pronounce it, and Heavener is almost nothing, right? Like, if you're down here, it's going to be the same type of forecast. Yep, Dallas we've talked about a few times. Getting into 11, midnight, 1 a.m. Central Time, damaging winds, very large hail, and a few tornadoes are all possible in that region. You need to have a plan. You need to have a way to get weather alerts and just be staying up to date. There'll be plenty of people covering this, including me. This is a quick stream. I got another 30, 40, maybe 30, 40 minutes in here. I'm going to get off, but I'm going to get back on as this kind of MCS derecho forms around here because I want to be on as this thing passes through OKC and approaches and it goes through Dallas-Fort Worth. Obviously, there's a big population centers there. I want to make sure I'm rested and can be able to do a long stream for that. Weatherford, Texas. But plenty of people will be covering this. Yeah, you guys will probably be a little bit before Dallas-Fort Worth. We could maybe see 10, 11 p.m. Central. Same type of thing, though. Same type of thing. I mean, look at this. 5% Tor. 45% hatched wind. Obviously, that's what's driving our moderate risk. 4 out of 5 risks today. We almost, I think, went high. I still think we could at the last second. And then this is our 30% hatch risk for hail. Hatched, significant. This means significant damaging, catastrophic damage threat is possible with those hail and winds. Another storm moving out to the east towards Hollis. That's western Oklahoma. Chicago update, big hail. I don't think so. You guys are in 5% risk for hail. It's not SIG hail, so if you were to get hail, well, look, there's an inch and a half hail, inch and 3/4 hail up here falling in this storm right here. So that's not too bad. 60-mile-per-hour gusts, considerable damage threat because it is observed almost 2-inch hail, so that's pretty good. I wouldn't expect to get bigger than 2-inch, but I mean, you already almost have 2-inch hail out here moving through Geneva out east towards West Chicago, Wheaton, and Lombard. So will this cell hold on as it moves into downtown Chicago? Possibly, but I'm not sure about that. Tallahassee, Florida. Yeah, you know, overnight we could have some issues down here in Tallahassee, Florida. Let me go back into our categorical. You guys got a slight just to your north. If we were to take a look at the 18Z down here near Tally, by the way, go Knowles. Some strong to severe thunderstorms potentially moving in there. See, this is going to be super early tomorrow morning. Very late, super early tomorrow morning. That's when that Tally threat looks to be. 5, 6, 7 a.m. And then maybe as we go through tomorrow afternoon and early evening. This could be a day for you guys as well. Tuesday morning as well. My mom is driving in an active warning in Eastern Virginia. What, severe thunderstorm warning? We've got a couple severe thunderstorm warnings down here. Williamsburg down to Bethel Manor. Not seeing rotation in here, but 60-mile-per-hour gusts possible and small hail. And then we've got a tornado warning. This is probably going to expire. I don't see much. I think this is going to expire in 2 minutes. Will Bethany, Oklahoma get hit by tornadoes tonight? I can't tell you who's going to get hit by tornadoes tonight. I can tell you who has the chance to. So I do think we may end up getting a 10% down here just because of what our low-level jet's doing later. Bethany, Oklahoma. You guys are in that 5%. You guys are in that 5% risk for tours. So stay weather alert. It's not impossible to get a tour in that area tonight. Colorado. Just a marginal. Slight down here in the southeastern corner. Let's check the latest HRRR for you guys up there. We got the 18Z in anyways. Yeah, it's not seeing much. Maybe some strong to severe storms close to around 5, 6 mountain time, but not seeing much. That's pretty good. It's not impossible to get some severe storms up there, but not a super high risk. Yeah, Dallas should still be good at 9. I mean, like I've said a few times, Dallas, these storms are knocking on Dallas's door not until about midnight, maybe 11 p.m. Central, the earliest. But I think this is a midnight event for Dallas. It's 1 a.m. It's looking mean. It's looking real mean still. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Latest HER sees potentially some discrete. Actually, yeah, it's keeping that discrete setup to your north. Could see some storms moving in at around midnight, and then another round at around 2 to 4 a.m. Central. There's a little bit of a gap here. You've got some strong storms up here, Joplin, Springfield, and then obviously down here. So we'll see if this gap fills in. I think it might. You know, we saw the HRRR a couple days ago wanting this band of storms to set up like this, and the band of storms was actually set up like this. So it kind of misses some regions sometimes. Alabama doesn't look too bad tonight. You've got some nice storms through southern Alabama. So we're talking Mobile over to Dothan, Ozark. These are all south of Montgomery. And then as we get into, I believe this is, late Monday, Tuesday morning, we could have some storms moving up through the rest of Alabama, but this is a southern Alabama threat today. Some thunderstorms firing off tomorrow morning up here in northern Alabama. Let's roll over. No one wants to ask regions. That's okay. I can't even find this. Mods, I appreciate you. I can't find it. Frisco, Conroe, guys, ask in regions. It's going to take me forever to answer. I want to answer as many questions as possible. And when you ask me about towns that I've never heard of in my life and I have to search them, I can't find them. I mean, it takes me, I'm not gonna be able to answer everyone. Like, if you live down here, right, and you tell me the name of the city I've never heard of before, you could have easily just said southeastern Oklahoma, and I can answer you right away. It's not just quicker for me, you get an answer quicker when I don't have to literally look up every single location. I'm not saying it to be mean, I'm just saying because I want to answer as many questions as possible. CJ Francis, April, B.A. Lewis, I appreciate you. North Texas, okay. Okay, North Texas. Let's look at North Texas. This, I mean, if we're talking Panhandle, this thing is going to be moving through much earlier in the day. Obviously, over the next few hours, until about 9 p.m. And then these storms are going to be moving out of the Panhandle and into northern Texas. So approaching Wichita Falls. This right here is at about 10 p.m. This is 9 p.m. Central. 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Large hail, 4-inch plus, 100+ mile per hour gusts, and potentially a few strong tornadoes are all possible up here in northern Texas. And that's your timeline. Central to southern Oklahoma, please. Thank you. I can answer these much quicker like this. Okay, so we'll do central to southern Oklahoma. So we'll forecast this area down here. HRRR, what's our timing for this? We start to get these storms moving into central Oklahoma, central to southern Oklahoma at around 8 p.m. And you can see the timeline here. 9, 10, 11, 12. And then around midnight, they're going to start to move out of that central Oklahoma. Central southern Oklahoma. Again, you're in a SIG hail, a SIG wind, and a 5% TOR that may get upgraded to a 10% TOR, but that's just my opinion. The SPC hasn't said that, so take that with a grain of salt. Again, the sun's going to be down, though, so it's really important you keep those alerts on. Hi, Gassy Face. My uncle lives in McDonald, PA. They are tornado warned. We can take we'll take a quick look at the updates on these tornado warnings. We weren't seeing much before, but we'll get a quick update on this. So velocity wise, not much. Little couplet trying to form. Nothing on the CC. I will still say Carnage, Heidelberg, Bridgeville, McDonald, Oakdale, everyone in this area, South Fayette Township, get in a safe spot. Not seeing much on the radar, but again, can't put complete trust in the radar sometimes. The radar will miss things sometimes. Same with this one down here, moving out to the east towards South Greensburg and Youngwood. Best to take precaution and just get somewhere safe. They did let this tornado warning expire down in Virginia. Not surprising. Didn't see much on that either. Okay. Let me just see, make sure we don't have any any tornado warnings or any tornadoes that aren't warned. Strong winds right here. Strong winds right here to the south of Cherokee, Oklahoma. Sometimes you'll find one that should be warned. Possibly a little bit of a couplet wanting to form here, heading down towards Horn Hill, Alabama. Do they have this tour possible? Not yet. They might put that tour possible shortly. And let's just take a look at these real quickly again. Hardesty getting a safe spot. 2-inch hail out here. A little bit of a couplet here. We may actually have a tornado on the ground up here in northwestern Texas Panhandle. We may actually have a tornado on the ground right there. So this is moving to the southeast towards Thompson Grove. It's moving through Rita Blanca National Grassland. So it doesn't look like too many people out in the way there. Anyways, I'll get back to answering questions. Yeah, I think mods, can you tag there's a couple apps. Can you tag like 1 or 2 good weather apps to get alerts on? Just so they can see. There's a way you can set it up in your phone settings if you have an iPhone. I know where you can have if you under a tornado warning, your phone will like wake you up. It'll set off an alarm. My Radar. Radar scope. Okay. Yeah, you just want to be able to get something audible. My mom chose today of all days to move to Dallas. Oh my gosh. She's welcome. Yeah. Well, it's gonna be a welcome to Dallas. I appreciate anyone who's over here from who's part of the what is it, Fry Fam? How's Lawton, Oklahoma looking tonight? Let's take a look out there. I'm getting discords. Lawton, Oklahoma. So I would consider this South Central Oklahoma. By the way, it's easier to just to say that because we can forecast that. Okay, so 8 p.m. Central, we could see some storms moving in. May still be a little bit of a discrete setup, isolated out ahead of the main line. And then as we get into around 9, 10. So about 8 to 10 Central looks to be when you could get some damaging winds, very large hail, and have a little bit of a tornado potential there as well. Could strong tornadoes form and move into Louisiana? Do they even have a tour threat stretching down there? Not really. Based on the latest HRRR, I mean, it's not impossible. If we're going to get any tours in Louisiana tonight or into tomorrow, it would really be tomorrow morning. It's going to be in northern Louisiana. So I like Radar Omega, which I'm on right now for models. And Radar Omega also has a national radar. So I can just go like that, zoom out, and I can see where everything is. Here's our rain here. Here's another band here. Here's an isolated setup down here. Appreciate the sub. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I think that sound is turned off. Oh, wait, 1 second, guys.
A new severe thunderstorm.
Yeah, let me do that.
Has been issued.
But sorry, weather-wise, it runs a lot smoother, a lot less lag. It crashes a lot less than Radar Omega, so I do like weather-wise a lot. There's some cool features in it as well. It's just it's a really smooth radar. How do you get the national radar? You just have to go up into the top. You see where it says radar? You want to go into MRMS. That's your national radar. If you go into single site, you have to go and click on a site, or you have to click on a storm and go into it. All right, really quickly, we do have a lime size hail, and let me actually put this into and I'll answer more questions. Let me pull this up here. Still tornado warned right here, moving down into Hardesty. A little bit more of a couplet trying to form here, and we have large hail. 2-inch hail, so just be aware of that. 2-inch hail up here too. Looks like we may have a tornado on the ground heading to the southeast towards Rita Blanca National Grassland. There's really not much out ahead of that one. Considerable damage threat up here. These storms are moving east towards Nash, Pond Creek, Deer Creek, Medford, Helena, Oklahoma. This is, I believe, north central Oklahoma up here. So considerable damage threat with the winds already up there. We've got 2-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour gusts possible out here, moving into Marmaton, Fort Scott, Stotesbury, out east. So this is moving towards El Dorado Springs and Nevada, Missouri. Our storm down in Louisiana has almost 2-inch hail as well, moving out to the east towards Jackson and Clinton, Louisiana. Just want to give you some updates on these storms. This is your classic kind of 60-mile-per-hour. 70-plus mile-per-hour gusts possible, and hail slightly over an inch out here in southeastern or in eastern North Carolina. Beaufort all the way up to Ocracoke. I honestly do not know how to pronounce that one either. And I lived in North Carolina. And again, these tornado warnings up here in Pittsburgh, let's just take one more look at them. I think this is going to expire. But South Greensburg, I'd still be in a safe spot. This one right here, tough to see anything, but Bridgeville, Beedling, Heidelberg, I get in a safe spot. This thing might expire as well, but just be precautious. All right. Let's get back to answering some questions. Mr. Connor, what's going on? Nothing runs smooth on my office PC. Yeah. I built this PC to stream 4K games, like video games. So it's actually way stronger than it needs to be for this type of stuff. That's why when I get lag sometimes, I'm like, what the heck? Is this day 2 of severe weather? Here's our day 2. Here's our day 2. Ohio gets involved. A lot of Kentucky, Tennessee, North Carolina again. We've got a slight through Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama. Oh, and guess what? Western Texas and portions of New Mexico again. Dallas, Fort Worth. Yep. Storms could arrive. Severe, damaging wind, large hail, possible tornado. That MCS feature could arrive around 11 to 12 Central, as early as 11 to 12 Central, as late as around 1 a.m. Central. Someone said zoom in, bro. Like I'm showing you guys the day 2. All right, I'll zoom in. There's your day 2, guys. How are you supposed to see the day 2 if I'm zoomed in? Are the storms headed to Illinois? Well, here's our day 1. Illinois, you're mostly in a general thunderstorm. You do have portions of western central Illinois in that slight. So Quincy up to Canton, down to Jacksonville. Almost down into the St. Louis region in a slight. So could have some strong thunderstorms moving into that region at around 7, 8, 9 Central. Lubbock. Let's look at these storms. I mean, Lubbock on the HRRR, everything wants to miss Lubbock, but we know it's Lubbock, so that's probably not going to happen, right? There's no way they get that lucky. They never get lucky. If we did see strong storms moving into Lubbock, they would likely be, I mean, they could be as early as 7 p.m. Central. We'll have to see where these storms actually fire off. But we're going to be watching the Lubbock area at least until midnight. At least until midnight. You guys are in that enhanced region, so if we break it down a little bit more for you, you're in a 5% tour. You're in a 30% hatched hail or wind and a 30% hatched hail. So damaging wind, damaging tornadoes, damaging hail, all possible. Right now, the HRRR likes everything moving off to your north and south. We'll see about that. Hopefully. Pauls Valley, Central Oklahoma. Yeah, those storms could arrive as early as 9 p.m. Central, probably as late as 10 p.m. Central. You're in the center of all that. 45% SIG wind, 30% SIG hail, and a 5% tour. I mean, yeah, 5% tour. So have weather alerts on. Sun's going to be down when these storms are moving through likely, or it's going to be going down. Can we look at the storm west of Chicago? Sure.
New information. This
It's got some decent size hail.
warning has been updated.
60 mile per hour gust, decent size hail. This might have over 60 mile per hour winds. You can see the decent velocities in there. Moving out to the east towards Downers Grove, Westchester, Brookfield. So, hail's, yeah, almost 2-inch hail. And it's not radar indicated hail. It's observed hail. So people are actually picking it up probably. Thanks, Morgan. Yeah, I just went over Lubbock. I appreciate the follows, guys. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to anyone who's followed or subbed. I appreciate that, guys. White Settlement, Texas. I'll go back over... I'll go back over the places I already covered, like Lubbock. I just want to let people get in there. Okay, so this is... Yeah, basically Dallas-Fort Worth. You guys are right smack dab in the middle of all those. You're going to be in a decent SIG hail, SIG win in that 5% tour. Timing-wise for you guys... very similar to Dallas. You could see your storms. You could see potentially strong storms moving in as early as 10. But it looks like the main event's going to be moving into this region at around midnight. Strong winds. Catastrophic damage for that wind, hail, and tour. Or at least wind and hail. But it's not this entire line. This entire line right here is not going to all have these 90, 100 plus mile per hour gusts. It's going to be certain supercells embedded within the line. So not everyone's going to see this crazy weather or at least this super severe weather. Oh, 1 second, guys. Oh my gosh, why am I so tired all the time? Well, I know why, but... Can you tell me how the storms are moving near Baltimore? 10 minutes from us has a tornado watch. I don't... Yeah, here. Let me move over to WeatherWise real quick. This whole entire region is under a tornado watch. So half of Maryland is under a tornado watch, and pretty much almost all of northern and northeastern Virginia is under a tornado watch. Massive area. It doesn't mean there's a tornado on the ground. It just means there's the possibility to see tornadoes. There's the ingredients in the atmosphere. Right now, we have no tornado warnings at all out here in the mid-Atlantic. We did have one earlier. We had 2 earlier, I believe. But right now, we're looking pretty good, especially up here near Baltimore. Some strong storms up to your north, but right now, Baltimore's looking pretty good. You're about to have some strong thunderstorms moving through that they don't look to be too severe, though. Or severe at all. And are we down to 1 tornado warning? We are. No problem. Dallas, damaging storms could arrive as early as 11 or as late as 1 a.m., but it looks like it's going to be about a 12, a midnight event. Again, significant wind, significant hail, and 5% torque could be upgraded to a 10% torque. We'll have to see. What's going on, Sean? Yeah, guys, if you live in a small city, I can't keep looking up small cities. Just ask, like, if you live in a small city in South Central Pennsylvania, just say South Central Pennsylvania. I'll be able to answer you quicker. Pittsburgh tonight, probably good for the rest of the night. These storms are moving out to your east, and you're just in a general thunder. It is funny you were just in a general thunder, though, and you did just get those warnings. I mean, not funny, but these storms are going to be moving off to your east. You have some strong thunderstorms moving through now. After that, you should be pretty good for the rest of the night. Is the southeast safe tonight? Well, we've got a slight categorical slight down there, and that is likely wind and hail driven. It's definitely wind driven. So, could see some strong winds tonight down there in southern Georgia. These storms are rolling through mid to late evening, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then into the early morning here you can see. So, it's going to be a late event. Strong severe thunderstorms could produce some hail and damaging winds. They're talking about 80-mile-per-hour winds. 80-mile-per-hour winds is almost guaranteed out here. We're seeing on models 110 to 120 mile-per-hour gusts. That's on the high end. It's not impossible if we do get this derecho feature. Derechos can put down 100+ mile-per-hour winds widespread in some cases. So if we only saw up to 80-mile-per-hour winds today, we'd come out actually looking much better than we thought we would. KB, I appreciate you. Thank you for that. The crown. And the roses. TX, I appreciate it. Northeastern Illinois, you guys are looking pretty good. You got a little 5%. 5% hail threat. 5% wind. Not really a tornado risk. Again, if you want to take another look at what's happening up there with this storm. 6-mile-per-hour gusts, still recording observed 2-inch hail, heading out to the east towards kind of downtown Chicago. This thing looks like it's, how fast is this moving? 35 miles per hour. Let's take a look at when this could get into the downtown Chicago area. So this is moving, let's just do this, 35 miles per hour. About 30 minutes maybe from downtown Chicago to the west. Whitewright, Texas, where is that? Tulsa could see, it's weird. The HRRR has storms splitting around Tulsa, but I think that gap may be filled in. You see, the HRRR has kind of an empty gap in there. But I think that may be filled in. And if it does fill in, that's going to be around midnight. Midnight to around 3, 4 a.m. Where we could get strong to severe storms in that area. Southwest Louisiana. Really, northern Louisiana is the biggest threat tonight. Although we do have some potentially strong thunderstorms moving into southwestern Indiana as we get into 5, 6 a.m. tomorrow. Yeah, Dallas. These storms move through at around midnight, give or take an hour. Everything's possible. Significant wind, significant hail, and tornadoes. So stay weather alert. Wind is definitely the driving factor in this moderate threat, though. So these are just percentages. Why is it red? 5, 15, 30, 45. Whoa! Lynn's with the train, Angel with the dolphin, and roses. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. How can you show what the HRRR on Radar Omega is showing for the Joplin area? I just need to see the... Yeah, sure. Here we go for Joplin. You get potentially some isolated thunderstorms moving through at around 6, 7 p.m. And then a more significant line of storms looks to move in at around 10 to 11 p.m. Central. And that could tail off for a while until about 2 a.m. So that's what's going on up there. 1, 2, 3, almost 3 rounds of storms after once we get into around 6, 7 p.m. Central, we could see 3 rounds of storms up there as we move into the early morning. And again, you do have that SIG hail up there, so yeah, again, Dallas, Fort Worth, McKinney, that whole area, we're thinking around midnight. Okay, we've got SIG hail, SIG wind, and a 5% tor risk that could go up to 10%. I can't say much other than you need to make sure you have weather alerts on. It's a moderate 4 out of 5 risk for severe weather.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
Yeah, Tropical Storm Barbara probably is going to become a hurricane. Very shortly, too. They have it getting up to 75, 85. Who knows? Maybe we get a cat too. I think we could get a cat too. I think this one out west could become a hurricane as well. They don't have this becoming a hurricane. I think we could get a cat 2 and a hurricane here. We could have 2 hurricanes out here. We had another disturbance down in the southeast that's also trying to form. We could have 3 tropical cyclones at the same time out there very shortly.
A new radar indicated tornado warning has been issued.
I can't believe I'm in the middle of that.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
Yeah, Amarillo, you're in that Sig Hail, Sig Wind. I believe you're in the 5% as well. So, again, have weather alerts on. Timing for you guys looks to be closer to... Well, we could have some strong to severe thunderstorms moving in at around as early as 5 Central. A lot of these storms want to move, fire up off to your east, but sometimes that'll change. 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10, 11, and then finally after 11 p.m. Central, looks like that severe threat will really go down for you guys. Dallas, midnight. Midnight. Give or take an hour, but around midnight tonight, we could see derecho type conditions moving in. It's possible. So 80 plus mile per hour gusts, 4-inch plus hail, and the possibility for some tornadoes. So keep your alerts on. Have a way to get alerts and have a plan just in case. Well, your phone's not showing anything because I don't know. I don't know why your phone's not showing anything. Is it worsening for Dallas? It's just remained looking, if I'm being honest, pretty bad for Dallas. It hasn't looked much worse today or much better today. It's remained pretty consistent that we could get some damaging winds through Dallas and large hail. It hasn't really leaned either way, you know?
New information. This considerable...
Let me give you guys a quick update of what's going on with our live weather. I'm probably going to get off here because I want to get on during the main event, meaning in like 2 to 3 hours, I'll get back on to cover these storms as they're moving through potentially the OKC region, Joplin, Tulsa, Dallas, out towards Texarkana. So I'm going to need to take a little break, get rest, and to prepare for that. I woke up early. I didn't get much sleep last night, so I just want to make sure I'm rested for it because it could be a long stream. Quick update on what's going on. Live right now, we do have 2 tornado warnings. One is right here. A little bit of a hook, a little bit of a couplet here as well. So if you're in Birkdale, I don't even know what state I'm in right now. If you're in Birkdale, Virginia, Brandy Oaks, Pocahontas Acres out here in Virginia, get in a safe spot, please. Bottom floor of your home interior, closet away from windows in a basement or in a storm shelter out there in Virginia. Our other tornado warning with 2-inch hail. This does look like an okay couplet as well. This storm has been moving off into the southeast for quite a while. It's moving through the Rita Blanca National Grassland, so it's not really... Hopefully, it doesn't look like it's really affecting anyone. This just looks like a national park out here. But just so you guys know that's going on there. We do have some considerable severe thunderstorm warnings right now. So golf ball size hail, 70 mile per hour gusts out here. About to move through Claude and Panhandle, Texas, in the Panhandle of Texas. We've also got a considerable 70 plus mile per hour gusts and over inch hail up here in north central Oklahoma. Moving off to the east towards Pond Creek, Blackwell, Deer Creek. Maybe a little bit of a hail core about to move through Renfro as well, northern Oklahoma. Then we got 2 more. Yeah, that's the same considerable there. Let me just make sure I've got these covered. And we've got the 70 mile per hour gust. Just over inch size hail out here. Buford all the way up towards Ocracoke, if that's how you pronounce it, out here at eastern central North Carolina. Not a ton of super dangerous storms going on, but we do have a lot of severe thunderstorms going on. Is this a new tornado warning? No, this is the one we were just talking about.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
All right. I appreciate the follows, guys. Yeah, Lubbock. Timing for Lubbock. We're looking like... Again, the latest HRRR does want these models, does want these storms to completely miss Lubbock, but they're never going to be perfect. So looking at the latest 19Z, looking at Lubbock, if we did get strong storms into Lubbock, it would probably be as early as 7 to 8 p.m. Central. And then it's probably going to be earlier in the evening. It's tough to tell because right now they want all of these storms to just completely move around Lubbock. We could also see a little bit of a threat 11 Central to midnight in Lubbock as well. Looks like it started earlier today. Yeah, I'd say so because we were looking at closer to 4 or 5 Central and it's already going at around 3:30. We're seeing a ton of these thunderstorm warnings begin to crank up. These storms are looking a little bit mean too. Moving into Fort Scott. Guys, I'm going to get off for a little bit. I've been on for an hour, and I plan on doing a long stream tonight, maybe 4 or 5 hours or more. As this this is just starting to get itself together. We're going to see it really intensify in a few hours. We could get our first derecho of the year, meaning significant damaging wind, straight line damaging wind threat for Oklahoma, Texas. So I want to make sure I'm rested up for that. So yeah, if you do want to subscribe or follow, you'll see me get on. You'll see me get on, and we'll be covering it, and I'll be answering as many questions as I can. I appreciate you guys being in here. I'm probably going to aim to get back on around 8 p.m. because it looks like that's when 8 p.m. Eastern, so 7 p.m. Central. Maybe 6 p.m. Maybe 6 p.m. Central, because that's when things look to really crank back up. So I appreciate you guys. I will be on a little bit later, and I'll see you then. Thank you, mods. Appreciate you guys.